This is a tour and review of the Daytona Aquarium. This aquarium opened February of this year and it's still not completely finished. After you get your tickets, the first room you walk into is called the Frog Swamp. And I love these two round tanks in the center of the room because they're on like a tree stump looking stand. And the frogs had a lot of space inside of them, and most of the tanks in this room were paludariums, which I thought was really cool. This frog was freaking huge, dude. I don't remember what kind he was, but I love him. This one was cool too. There were 3 of them in there and they were bumpy looking. They had a ton of space too. I love that they used live plants in all of these tanks. And this guy down here, I think, was trying to go for that cricket. I don't know. This little guy had like a whole ass tree to himself in here, which was really cool to see. And he's so tiny compared to his enclosure, which made me really happy. He has so many hiding spaces, which made it fun for me because I love trying to find critters in the plants. This tank was really cool because they had 2 different kinds of animals in one tank living together. They had this green tree python, I believe it was. And he was really gorgeous, really bright, like neon green. And then down below were some blue poison dart frogs. They were so cute. I've never seen something like this in a zoo or aquarium before. And I really love these fungus details on this tree stump here. I think these are cane toads. They looked real grouchy and they didn't move at all. But what frog does move, really? This is one of my favorite critters that we saw at the aquarium. It is a newt, and he is one of the coolest newts I've ever seen. I've never seen one with this pattern and colors before. Look at him wiggling around. I just love him. Could you imagine being a newt? I'd have so much fun. Here's a random clip of some frogs on a ledge. A frog butt. Another one of my favorite critters was this pink axolotl. She was just a little baby. She's probably gonna have to move out of this tank before she gets too big, but we'll see what happens with that. There's this little lemon lime looking froggy. Not too much plants in this enclosure, but I did like the waterfall. I really like this tank. I like the roots coming down. Is this frog even real? This guy looks like plastic. He's so cute. He's too perfect. The next room is called the Lizard Lair. They had chameleons, a monitor, a uromastix, and a lot more. This guy had a huge tree all to himself. He's a rhinoceros chameleon, and he looks like a little rhinoceros chameleon. This is another really pretty tank. It looks like a forest, and this chameleon is so pretty. It's got the full rainbow on it. Okay, maybe not. It's RGB. It's computer rainbow. These monitors were really cool. I like the giant logs that they could climb up, but they didn't seem to have that much space to swim and walk around. This guy was glass surfing pretty much the whole time we were over there, and I started to feel really bad for him, even though it was cute, but he was just trying to claw his way out, I think. Either that or he was hungry. Or he was just being silly. That was a pretty silly thing he just did. He seemed like a silly guy to me, but I can't be too sure what's going on in that little reptilian head. Maybe he just really likes Jaden. I do too. But yeah, that's the full tank again. And I don't remember what these lizards are, but they are so pretty. And that one on the ledge up here, we were wondering if he knows how to get down, actually, because you'll see what happens a little bit later, but he looked a little confused right now. This guy's looking up at him with concern in his eyes. This was a paludarium as well, I think they had white cloud mountain minnows or something rather in there. And that guy up on the ledge started like falling, but he saved his fall. He's fine. He did not fall. He's okay. Here's a little day gecko, I think, and he had a lot of space too. This enclosure was really nice. Got plenty of branches to climb on, lots of live plants to hide in. Once again, we got water at the bottom of the tank. They love it. Gotta love it. Got another lizard with an entire forest to himself, dude. This enclosure is so cool. I don't know what's up with this turtle, but he scares me. He gives me scary vibes. He also doesn't have a lot of space, and there's only one neon tetra in there, bro. Come on. Here's the Uromastyx. I don't know a lot about these guys, but he had a lot of climbing opportunities. I don't know if they're big climbers or what, but there was a lot of space in here. We've got another turtle tank that could have been a little bit bigger, but it's definitely better than the spooky turtle from earlier. This grass hanging over the ledge up there is really pretty. I like it a lot. This is a different turtle tank with fish in it. There was one goldfish with a bunch of platies, which is interesting for sure. But they're probably food because he was sitting over there with his mouth open like that and wiggling his tongue, I think trying to get them to go in his mouth. He was unsuccessful as long as I seen him do it, but this is a look at his tank. This is one of the touch tanks called Ray Bay, and they had a ton of different types of rays in here. I've never seen one like this before. I really like the pink around the edges. It was a little hard to reach them sometimes, and they didn't really want to come up to you because we weren't feeding them or anything, but they did have an employee there kind of splashing the water and making them come up there so you could pet them. This is the most amount of stingrays I've ever seen at once, and this is what the shark that they had in there looked like. Speaking of which, this is, I think, their biggest tank, and it's called the Shark Reef. There was a nurse shark in here, and these giant manta rays, I think they are. Maybe they're stingrays, I don't know. They also had some huge groupers. There goes the nurse shark swimming through the decorations. It was really cool. And this guy, they were feeding the fish when we were over here, and there were a bunch of benches so you could sit on and watch them eat. The shark was having the time of its life. I think this grouper is called a bumblebee grouper, and I love the pattern on him. He was one of my favorite fish we saw. I don't even know what to say about this guy. His tank was really cool. Very spacious for a gentleman such as himself. This is what the screens looked like above all the tanks that tell you what fish are in there, and they would change if there were multiple different types of fish. The starfish is very squishy looking. This tank had so many different types of saltwater fish and corals and such. I also didn't get any footage of the other touch tank that they had, but it had like starfish and stuff like that in there. You can see Nemo back there, which is a must. They had one of these numbers, which is giving Rainforest Cafe. This fish is insane. They had Dory. Gotta have it, gotta love it. I loved all the different colors that they used on these fake corals, so they're really pretty. This fish was kind of glass surfing and swimming really fast back and forth in this tank. And then there was another fish in the tank next to this that was the same type, and it was doing the same exact thing. And my dad was wondering if maybe they were trying to get to each other, which was really sad to think about. There's the other one. I don't remember what type of fish this was, but maybe they should be friends. The jellyfish tanks are always my favorite at the aquarium. They're so relaxing to watch. And I love when they put the colorful lights on them so you can see them well. It's like a jellyfish party. I think these were Pacific jellyfish. They were my favorite. I love how their tentacles like flow. Are they tentacles? I don't know, but it's really pretty. I could have sat here all day and watched this. I gotta get one of them fake jellyfish things that looks like a real jellyfish that you can have in your room. This tank had lyre tail something rathers and a blue spiny lobster, but I don't think I got the lobster on camera. But I love these fish's blue eyes. They're so cute, and their tails are so flowy. They look like a mermaid tail. And this guy was in the same tank as them, but I don't remember the name of this fish. But I love their fins and the way they flap. They had 2 different types of eels, and once again, I have a lot of favorites. These are one of my favorites. They were pretty active, like moving around a lot, surprisingly. I enjoyed the like sunken pipes theme that they had going on with the decor. There's the moray eel. I have no idea what this thing is, bro, but it was in the pufferfish tank, and it was so hard to film the pufferfish because they were so fast. These were Amazon puffers, and I really liked their tank. They had a lot of space and looked like little underwater trees. There were 2 other types of fish in here at the top, and to the top right is the butterfly fish, and then that's the leaf fish. I also noticed 1 Corridora at the bottom here, and I don't know why they don't have a full school, but things change. Maybe they'll have more. This is a different tank. This lobster was definitely the star of this tank. I loved him so much. It looked so epic with the wood and the plants. They also had a bunch of tetras in here, which made me really happy. And this is a pretty big tank for all them folks. I also noticed this mystery snail shell, rip. This, I think, was the second biggest tank, and it had this arapaima, I think, and then this giant catfish. There were a couple different types of catfish in here. I loved this tank a lot. All these fish were gigantic, dude. And they had a big white alligator gar who was my favorite. And then there's that guy just sitting on the glass. But look how cute this gar is. Oh, I love him. This catfish was on the glass for a while doing this. His whiskers are so long. It's crazy. I've seen one of these spotted guys that I've seen them sell in the pet store, which is crazy. And this guy's still sitting on the glass. He's like AFK right now. There's only 2 animals left, and I saved the best for last. Look at this mudskipper. Look at his little belly. Look at his little fins. Look at his little eyeballs poking out there at the top there, like that. There was archerfish in here, but like, I really just wanted to stare at this mudskipper. He was the only one that I saw in there. And this is all he did. And I was there for quite a while just watching him. It looks so slimy. I love it. Look at the fish checking him out. It's so cute. The last enclosure is for this alligator. He was sitting right in the spotlight, which is perfect. He looks so cool. But my favorite part of this was the set that they had in the background. There's like a house, an outhouse, a water tower, trees with roots poking out of the water, fiber optic stars, and a moon. It's insane. I loved this. I've never seen anything like this in a zoo or an aquarium before. I have already built this in Minecraft and the aquarium that I'm building. Check out my other video of that. So that's it for the animals, but as you can see on this map, there are 3 things that are coming soon. There's the snake den, the rainforest, which is gonna have birds, monkeys, and the sugar gliders, which is really cool. I want to come back to see that. There's also a cafe coming soon, and there's an arcade that I lost the footage from, but this is what the gift shop looked like, and there were some games in there. And this is what I got as my souvenir. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, and peace and love.